Some major breaking news in the New York City mayoral race.
New York City just witnessed a political shockwave. Eric Adams, the incumbent mayor, has abruptly dropped out of the race. A scandal-plagued term, collapsing poll numbers, and billionaire pressure, all of it culminating in one stunning announcement.
The scandal-plagued mayor had been struggling in the polls, with a recent Fox News poll showing him dead last at 8% behind his rivals Zoran Mamdani, Andrew Cuomo, and even Curtis Sliwa. Here's what Adams said earlier in a video announcing the end of his campaign.
Despite all we've achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the campaign finance board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the...
This is historic. The first one-term mayor since 1993. A political empire undone not by one scandal, but by 1,000 cuts, financial investigations, falling approval, and the rise of a movement he could not stop.
Live sit-down interview since the shakeup in the race. Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee in the New York City mayor.
And in the vacuum left behind, only one candidate steps forward, instantly, powerfully. Zoran Mamdani, the frontrunner, the insurgent, the man who rewrote the political map of New York.
I'll start broadly by getting your reaction to the fact that Eric Adams, who was polling fourth, has dropped out, and what this means for the race going forward.
Mamdani isn't surprised. Not emotionally, not politically, not strategically.
Look, Donald Trump and his billionaire donors may be able to determine the actions of Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo, but they will not dictate the results of this election. This continues to be the same election as it was when we started on October 23rd, a choice that New Yorkers have between Eric Adams' record, which is Andrew Cuomo's agenda, one that has priced New Yorkers out of what is now the most expensive city in the United States of America, or our vision for a city that New Yorkers can actually afford.
This is Mamdani's core message. Money doesn't decide the race. Movements do.
This race on November 4th.
Do you have a sense of what's behind this decision today? We've all heard that Curtis Sliwa, the Republican, claims that he's been offered large sums of money from powerful people to get out of the way. Do you think that's what's happened here?
No, I think we have to put this in a larger context, where after we beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points in the Democratic primary, he called Donald Trump to ask what they could do together to defeat our campaign in the general election.
Immediately, he reframes the story. This isn't just Adams' decision. This is Donald Trump narrowing the field, clearing the way for Andrew Cuomo, a coordinated political push.
And Donald Trump has spoken time and again about how he wants to narrow this race, how he wants to use every tool at his disposal to try and stop this campaign for affordability. And we're seeing, amidst all of that, here yet again, the moment where he is shaping
party message. And I want to play that and have you respond on the other side.
I must also sound a warning. Extremism is growing in our politics. Our children are being radicalized to hate our city and our country. Major change is welcome and necessary, but beware of those who claim the answer to destroy the very system we built together over a generation.
Adams leave with a warning, a thinly veiled one about extremism, chaos, and radicalization. But who is he talking about? The hosts know. Mamdani knows. The audience knows.
Some of your policy positions. What's your response to that?
Well, I think that the only thing I truly find to be extreme is Eric Adams' record. This is a man who's raised the rent on more than 2 million New Yorkers by 12%, a man who slowed down already the slowest buses in the country, one who priced New Yorkers out of childcare that cost them about $25,000 a year.
This moment crystallizes the contrast. Adams talks ideology. Mamdani talks numbers, rent hikes, bus speeds, childcare costs.
The 5 boroughs. And what I actually think of more in Eric Adams' parting words are the ones that he gave us a few weeks ago, where he assembled a number of cameras and spoke to them directly, that Andrew Cuomo is a liar and a snake. And I think that New Yorkers are tired.
Mamdani brings receipts. He reminds viewers, Adams himself blasted Cuomo. The Democratic machine is fighting each other, while Mamdani quietly rises.
They wanted to consolidate this race to have it between you and Andrew Cuomo. Does that crystallization, you think, breathe life into the campaign of Andrew Cuomo? He welcomed Eric Adams dropping out, and there's a lot of questions as to whether or not he will now get an cash injection of money from donors, the Bill Ackmans of the world who want it.
The billionaires want a two-man race, Cuomo versus Mamdani. Their strategy is clear: flood the field with money, buy the narrative, buy the election.
It reminds me of what Andrew Cuomo wanted in the primary. He wanted me to be his main opponent, and he got that, and we beat him by 13 points. And that was in spite of around $30 million being spent against us to...
This is the line that defines a primary. Cuomo spent millions. Mamdani spent people, and people won.
Smear and slander our campaign. And I have no doubt that he will see an influx of donations from Donald Trump donors, the very ones who have been trying to coax these other candidates out of the race. But I continue to be confident that New Yorkers can see through that, and they understand that this is a democracy. It's not something to be bought by an oligarchy. And no matter the attempts...
They fear him not because he's radical, but because he is effective, because he threatens a political economy built on lobbyists, developers, and donors
New Yorkers can afford.
But with the race being a little bit wider now, does that change at all the calculation? Because now it's not just the primary, it's not just Democratic members who can vote in the primary, it's going to be wider in the city.
Well, the affordability crisis impacts New Yorkers regardless of their politics. I've met Republicans, I've met unaffiliated voters, I've met voters who are registering to vote now for the first time, and they tell me the same issues that Democrats spoke to me about. Their rent, their childcare, public transit, the fact they just can't afford the city. And I know that this is an agenda that will speak to the...
Mamdani expand the frame. It's not a Democratic election anymore. It's a universal affordability election.
An alternative.
What do you make of the state of play in the Democratic Party in New York right now? Since the last time we saw you, Hochul has endorsed you. The two of you have appeared together and are clearly finding common ground. But Schumer, Jeffries, still on the sidelines. Jeffries today put out a statement thanking Adams for his service. I mean, this is a person who actually has technically left the Democratic Party now and ran as an independent in this race.
Why haven't Schumer and Jeffries endorse him? Simple. Because Mamdani is not the establishment's choice. He is the voters' choice.
Schumer.
Look, I will welcome endorsements from anyone across the city, and I will welcome them because we're looking to build a coalition that reflects the 8.5 million people who call this city home. And I'm proud, as you said, not only to have the endorsement of Governor Hochul, but also of Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins in the state Senate, as well as Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie, because these are the New Yorkers I will be working with to deliver this agenda, to show that the relationship between City Hall and Albany.
Governor Hochul, state leaders, and 8.5 million New Yorkers now form the coalition behind him.
Holding out in service of the people that they serve, the communities, neighborhoods that they walk through and work with every day, or in service of something else?
I can't speak to the motivations. I can just tell you that I'm proud to be building a campaign that we're seeing increased excitement across these 5 boroughs, and a campaign which, won the most number of votes in New York City primary history. We saw that the top 3 age demographics that came out were all under the age of 35. We registered 30,000 people in the last 10 days.
A political earthquake. The top 3 age groups in the primary were all under 35. A generational shift. This is not a campaign. This is a realignment.
Well, who I respect because he takes care of animals well, but that said, so back to the race though, there are plenty of friends of mine who they recognize your political talent, they admire you, but they worry that they're more moderate. They're worried you're going to make taxes higher, that the city is going to become more expensive, that it's going to be harder to do business here. They worry that you're...
Moderates worry. Will Mamdani raise taxes? Will business suffer? Will the city become too progressive? Mamdani answers with, not fear, not ideology, but policy.
I'm looking to represent them as well. I'm not looking to just be a mayor of the nearly 600,000 New Yorkers who voted for me. I'm looking to lead a city of 8.5 million people. And so much of this general election has been reaching out to those who have questions or concerns and making clear that our affordability agenda is a universal one. It's one that understands that tenants are facing rent hikes that are pushing them out of the city, and homeowners are facing a water bill the highest it's been in 13 years, a broken property tax system, the necessity of having an application of these ideals for...
He speaks directly to them. I'm not their mayor. I'm your mayor too.